All
James
right,
Harden.
Mike. Y'all, let's move to the news we got with Coach Mike Malone getting fired.
Yeah.
And
I didn't understand
yeah,
that.
there's a lot of controversy behind it because
Gotta be.
what are some of the reports y'all heard?
I haven't heard any. Honestly,
I've heard the rumors that I've heard was that there was an argument over the amount of time Russell Westbrook was playing. I've heard that there's been a big divide between the Calvin Booth and Mike Malone for a while. I don't know how much truth is to that, but I mean, eventually it'll absolutely come out.
Well, he's fired and Calvin Booth is gone as well. I mean, I think what we can say is that there was a rift between the front office and Mike Malone. I think that's true.
Safe to say.
Right. The part about Mike Malone upsetting the players because he was giving Russell Westbrook favoritism, I don't know how much of that is believable or true. Right. That part I don't know.
Yeah.
But also what was also true is that the owner came out and said that we were going to move on from Calvin Booth and Mike Malone this summer anyway.
Okay.
Right. So they did make that announcement that this was going to happen at the end of the season anyway. But they just decided to go ahead and do it because things was trending down and it was trending in a place where they didn't want to see it go. Right. So all that was there, but I want to ask y'all one thing first, and I want to play this soundbite from Kendrick Perkins talking about Jokic. But I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think really happened? Why did Mike Malone get fired?
It had to be something internal because you don't get rid of a coach of a team that's in the 4th seed. I don't care. Like, there's a whole lot of teams that go in slumps right before the playoffs, a whole lot. But you're changing the entire dynamic of the team by getting rid of the coach
4 or 5 games before the playoffs start.
Right. Like it just doesn't make sense. And you can't be thinking about winning. Like, whatever happened in that locker room had to be so severe that you got rid of your coach.
I don't understand that.
Like,
So
it doesn't make sense.
I don't know what exactly it could have been, but I'm willing to bet it had to do with Jokic.
Oh, that's where I was going with it. I heard Jokic.
I'm willing to bet
Jokic
it had something to do with Jokic.
He said it. He said that they made him aware shortly before of what their intentions were. If you go into your star player about the coach being fired, 9 times out of 10, your star player got something to do with the coach being fired. Like,
with that being the base level, I think the sub level of that is I think Mike Malone wanted to coach Jokic a different way from the numbers grabs and the triple double.
Oh, hell no, that's Mike Malone's system. Nah, Mike Malone started it.
He ain't letting him get off on that one.
No, heck no.
He was with him.
Mike wants that.
He was with him, but when you adapt to the style of whatever star player and that star player,
so maybe ownership said get away from that.
Yeah,
Mike
maybe
Malone said no.
Maybe, but when you adapt your style to a singular player on any team, eventually when it don't work, you gonna be the scapegoat, never the player. It's gonna always be
so this is what I think it is, right? I think it's multiple things, but I think this is what the straw that broke the camel's back this season was Russell Westbrook. You get this new guy in the locker room who is a big voice, who come with I mean, he's got a Hall of Fame jacket waiting on him.
Yeah.
He's already got an MVP. He's already missed a triple-double. He the one who brought that back into the league. Oscar did it. Nobody else was trying to do it after that. Mm-hmm. He the one who bought triple-double basketball and glorifying the triple-double like the way we do. He brought that back into the league. So he already got his own clout with him.
Yeah.
And a yellow jacket waiting on him. So when he speaks and then he comes in here and he's the vet out of all these guys in there.
100%.
He's the vet. It was different being in that Lakers locker room because now he can't say much because LeBron, whatever LeBron say, go. But now he's in this freaking locker room with all these puppies that compared to him, and he's got clout, historic clout.
Young boys, like
exactly, and he's looking and seeing how they do things, and was like, y'all got to be freaking kidding me. We really all go stand at the 3-point line and watch Jokic create everything, and I can create, and Jamal Murray can create. Why are we playing this way? Why ain't nobody hustling on defense? Why ain't nobody playing defense?
No, they ain't gonna do that, especially right? The big guy.
Why ain't this how y'all practice? Because Russell goes hard 100% of the time, correct?
Yeah, 100% of the time. Never.
That's one thing. That's one thing you can say about Westbrook. He never goes half percent.
Correct. And I know for a fact he wasn't dogging in that practice, and I know for a fact he wasn't keeping his mouth closed. Every single thing that goes wrong in that locker room and behind closed doors or on that floor, Russell was talking. I guarantee you. Right. And now you see Mike Malone start to say different stuff, like the things that you heard at the post game for Mike Malone this year, where he called his team out and said they don't watch film. He said none of them watch their minutes unless we force them to. All of these things he started saying, I think Russ was probably poking him like, man, is this what type of ship you running? No wonder y'all ain't got back to the finals. You know what I mean? So I think once Mike Malone seen someone with a motor like Russ, he started looking at everybody and was like, oh, that's the problem. I want everybody to catch back up with him. And everybody else was looking like, dude, we like Draymond was looking at KD. We won without you.
Yeah, we did this. We did this.
I think that was the issue though. But let's hear Kendrick Perkins give Jokic all the excuses he can stand.
Mm-hmm.
When y'all was 73-9, Cavs came back. You didn't sit back and say, oh, let's run it back another year. No, you went into the offseason aggressive and said, we got to max this out. You went and got Kevin Durant. That's what you have to do. Do you realize that Jokic in his career haven't played with another all-star? Never. Like Russ don't count at this point. He's past those stages, right? Past his prime. But again, when are you going to help him out? And I think I'm looking at a guy like Jamal Murray, and if I'm the Denver Nuggets, I'm actually trying to move away from him.
By the way, that's how Michael Malone felt. You're describing Michael Malone.
Sign a 4-year, $208 million deal. That becomes a little bit more difficult.
So first of all, did you hear him at the end say Denver needs to think about moving on from Jokic in the offseason? This dude is a freaking idiot. And Malika had to remind him he just signed a 4-year contract. Do it. How you gonna move on? He's trying to make it seem like, hey, Jokic, since we failed you, we got to move you. Like, what is he talking about? So first of all, Denver didn't fail him.
No,
they built the championship roster around him. Just because they ain't made All-Star yet, doesn't mean that they gave him a trash roster. Michael Porter Jr. has every skill set that Paul George has.
No question.
And has been playing better than Paul George for the last 4 years.
Absolutely.
Especially guess how they're using him. Catch
and shoot. Yeah, catch and shoot.
That's it.
Catch and shoot.
No post ups.
Go in the
corner. ISOs.
Go in that corner.
Yeah, no play call for him. Look, he don't get a play call for him, but some way, somehow he continues to get 18 to 20 points a game with no plays called for him. No, he don't make any decisions. He don't dictate anything on offense. He just got to get it out the mud. Hey, figure out how to listen. Jokic just go play triple-double basketball. All you have to do is shoot threes every time he passes it to you, or every time you semi-open.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out how to get 18 points. Just do that.
That's it.
Jamal Murray, figure out how to get 20 points.
Mm-hmm. Help. I hate that. First of all,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No. You cook.
The thing about it that I don't understand is like how can I'm not saying like how can Kendrick Perkins, because I know how he can do it because he's an idiot. But how can Kendrick Perkins even form his mouth to say he's never played with an all-star? Because if the team is focalized around you, you are the all-star. Everybody else is just picking up trash. You understand what I'm saying? So hell no, you're not playing all-star basketball because you don't even get the opportunity to play all-star basketball. You know what I'm
saying? Which is how teams used to actually be built. You had your bona fide superstar. We've talked about this before. You had a fringe star or an all-star, and that would be your Jamal Murray. And then you had, or Michael Porter Jr., you can go either way with that. And then you had role players who fit the system that you were building. You didn't have three. So in honesty.
But the difference was though, Chris, is that you ran plays for all three of those players.
Exactly.
Or they had defined roles, and all the roles was highly important.
Exactly.
Right? Like, so when you look at Jordan and Pippen, Jordan was the superstar. His role was to score points. Pippen's role was to facilitate the offense and also provide some points on the secondary level. Right? But they wasn't butting heads. That's like playing spades and I throw the little joke out, you throw the big joke out. Like, we butting head. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's dumb to tell Jokic to primarily facilitate and be the primary scorer, and then tell Jamal Murray you have to figure out how to be an all-star. I can't be an all-star. He's doing both important roles, right?
Possible.
Stockton, Malone, one facilitated, one scored. Penny Hardaway, Shaq, one facilitated, one scored. Primarily.
They're not going to do that, and they're going to continue to just make excuses for Jokic. Like, Trae Young ain't ever played with an all-star, but he don't get that excuse. Why? Because it's Jokic, and when they want to paint that picture of, hey, man, we're going to give you the ball, you're going to have one of the highest usage rates in the league for the past 4 years. You're going to grab rebounds. You can't jump over a phone book, so you're not going to defend, and we're just going to feed you the ball every time on offense, and everybody has to play around that. You're supposed to have stats. That's what it's designed to do.
Correct.
It's designed for you to have stats. Like, you gonna have, if I got the ball, it doesn't matter if I'm a horrible shooter. If I have the ball in my hand for 40 minutes of the game, I'm gonna score some points. I'm gonna get some rebounds. I might get some assists, because all you gotta do is just make a shot. It's designed to be that way. Stop saying get him help and change the system. Let him be Sabonis.
Think about. Let me take it to football, Corey, real quick. And Chris, you can answer this. So let me take it to football.
Okay.
Right. You got a quarterback that runs the read option. Right. Okay. Let's say it's Cam Newton. Right. Okay. So Cam Newton is throwing the ball 25 times a game, and he's tucking it and running 25 times a game. He's getting 200 yards in the air, 100 yards on the ground, right? Your running back's getting the ball 8 times a game, right, on the ground, and he might catch 3 passes. So he's touching it 11 times to do something with it. And then when they lose, everyone says, well, look at Cam Newton's stats. He's doing everything he can do. He's getting 300 yards, 200 in the air, 100 on the ground. What is that running back doing? And the running back don't have no opportunities to help. Like, you're not giving me an opportunity to help if you're gonna tell Jokic to run everything on offense. There's only a couple of roles on offense. Either I'm facilitating or I'm scoring, and Jokic is doing both of those things. Right. So what's left for us?
You're right, Mel. So and take it to that example. I get 8 carries. If I don't average 20 yards a carry, then I didn't carry my weight.
Nothing.
And guess what? Now, hey man, we need to move on from this running back, man. He's not doing enough to help our quarterback out.
What do you want me to do when the quarterback we all can see that, hey, this is probably where you should hand it off to me, and the quarterback is gonna tuck it and take it himself because he feels like he can do better.
That's why.
Let me show y'all some of these comments, and this is why Jokic can't get back to the finals, because people are enabling him. Now you go blame Jamal Murray based on what he did in the Olympics.
That's not even the same basketball. That's not even. I'm not.
What does one have to do with the other?
No, that is not the same basketball. If you brought that up, I question. I don't know who you are, Jimmy James C. But I question your acumen for this sport if you brought up Olympic basketball when we talking about NBA teams.
Here's another one. Efficiency. That efficiency means he gets to be the point guard and the primary scorer at the same time because he's efficient.
At 7 foot,
but you think that's good basketball? Good basketball is supposed to trump everything. It's bad basketball to tell Jokic to do all of that stuff.
We messed up when we got away from when we went to this positionless basketball. Like, people need to go back to being and playing the position that you in. If you have
a skill, we can use that. Like, Jokic is a great passer. I don't want to make it
seem sure.
listen, he's a great passer. There are ways that just because he's a great passer doesn't mean he has to engineer the entire offense, man.
But there are also a lot of big men who end up getting a lot of assists, because if you being a big man and doing big man things, the smaller people on the other team are going to crash. Okay, what do? You can dish out to, but if you sitting at the top trying to be a point guard as a 7-footer,
I'm just tired of this narrative, like this comment right here. I'm tired of that narrative, bro. If you're holding the ball till it's 3 seconds left on the shot clock and then dishing something outside and you miss the shot and it's your fault, that's bullshit. It's bullshit ass basketball. Like, I hate watching the Nuggets play. Just watching Jokic stand at the free throw line and turn fucking circles the whole game. That's what he does. Or shoot some bullshit ass fadeaway. That's it. That's all he does the whole game. And that's efficient and good basketball.
I want to ask Jimmy, and anybody in the comments can answer this, but let's use Luka in Dallas as an example, right? He needs help. He needs this. He needs that. He had Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was labeled as, oh, he's not good enough, But Jalen Brunson had to sit there and wait 20 seconds of a 24-second shot clock to get the ball. Can anybody get into it unless you are Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson?
You have to be that person.
You can't get a rhythm by just standing there 20 seconds every possession.
That's common sense to me.
And then
I don't understand.
When we watch Jalen Brunson get away from Luka, get out of that system, and actually get a chance to be a point guard, this man is a dog.
He resurrected New York.
The real hoopers knew that, though.
He resurrected New York basketball.
But people that watch the Mavericks knew that, because the best basketball that the Mavericks played when Luka got hurt
was hurt. Yep,
Luka got hurt.
Was when Jalen Brunson was on the court, right? In that first series against Phoenix, he towed
their ass. 40?
Yeah,
40?
Towed their ass up. And then they went right back to Luka ball. It didn't make sense.
It's just not consistent enough for you to get into a rhythm in order to show. That's why when people say, Jamal Murray, I think Jimmy said he wasn't that good because him away from Joker showed that. First of all, that's ridiculous. Second of all, you haven't seen him in the NBA system away from Joker. And if you do, I guarantee you he can average 25 because Jamal Murray is
easy.
Right,
look, listen, I was having this conversation on my show earlier this week, or maybe last week, and one guy called in and said the same thing. He was like, man, there's no all-stars in Denver. And I was like, the reason why they're not all-stars is because of the play style. They can't be all-stars, right? And I was like, so you mean to tell me you would replace those players with any all-star at their position? I was like, so Tyler Hero, you would take him over Jamal Murray? He said, absolutely.
Wow.
He said he's more efficient.
And I like Tyler Hero, so I don't want to say that.
He said Tyler Hero is more efficient and plays better defense. So you think Tyler Hero with Jokic?
He don't watch games.
Okay. All
First of all, Tyler Hero won't even be who Tyler Hero is in Miami with Jokic because he's not gonna get the ball as much.
Hold on, because I'm seeing this one go off in the comments.
Right.
And
I was looking at that.
Selective memory is crazy because did we not see Jalen do all he could until he got hurt?
Right. And then he said right here, get the fuck out of here. You sound crazy trying to compare Jalen to Luka. You sound crazy. And then Young Disciple said he always hurt. Luka's always fat.
He was comparing Jalen to Jamal Murray.
Like, that's crazy.
He was comparing Luka to Jokic, right? Jamal Murray is getting overshadowed by the system they play in Denver, just like Jalen Brunson was getting overshadowed by the system they played in Dallas.
But I don't expect you to understand that. Now that I'm listening to what you're saying, like
it makes no sense. Like, well, who carried who? Luka carried the Mavericks all the way to the finals, getting bullshit ass foul calls the entire fucking playoffs, right? And then when it came time to really play basketball, they tore his motherfucking ass up and they isolated him on defense.
Should not have made it out of that.
And don't forget, Corey, with Kyrie Irving.
And I'm a Maverick fan. I am a big Maverick fan.
They should not have got out that OKC
series. Bullshit.
He's a Dallas fan. He's not crying.
I'm a Dallas fan. I'm not crying. I'm a 100% motherfucking Dallas Mavericks fan. I watch every motherfucking game. I see it every year. And I call it on this show every year. Luka's about to miss a month because he's fat. That's what he's about to do. Every time he comes in at the beginning of the season, you can see his motherfucking belly button every fucking time in the beginning of the season. That's why they got rid of his fat ass. It wasn't a smart trade. No, it wasn't a smart trade because you didn't get shit in return for him. Because there were plenty of suckers out there you could have got a whole lot for him.
Yeah, they should have got more.
I'm tired of hearing that shit, man. Get the fuck out of here.
We forgetting about how key of a piece Aaron Gordon is to that Denver team as well.
So much more game. Boy got so much.
He got to play defense for the entire back. First of all, their rim protector is Michael Porter Jr. So not only is he Klay Thompson on offense, with their rotation, the only one that can block shots at the rim is Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. Not Jokic. He's not even going to jump.
No,
right?
he is completely out of that backside rotation. He completely out of it. When they designing their defense, no, Joker, you stay in the middle. Either somebody's going to have to come from one corner to play help side or the other corner or the wing.
Listen,
not Jokic. It's ridiculous.
If they was to ever run a 2-3 zone, Jokic would be in the corner.
I just don't like. I don't like that they making excuses for, like, if you gonna play that style of basketball, cool, play that style of basketball, but don't blame the role players because the offense is centered through you. Don't do that.
Yeah, and he ain't never gonna have an all-star. It don't matter who comes. The only way he'll have an all-star is if they trade for somebody that's already popular and just go get a vote just for their name, like Dame Lillard. Right, or James Harden. Like if you trade for one of those guys, just their name will get them voted in.
Yeah,
but someone that got drafted by Denver, they're never going to be like, just like Brunson. He would have never been able to get to the All-Star level if he stayed in Dallas.
Never.
Yeah, none of them dudes.
And like I was going to say earlier, the kid Christian Braun, he has. I like his game, and I like what potential he has to become. But the better he gets, the less we'll see of it if he stays and they stay in this Jokic centered offense. He's only going to become just another spot up shooter in the corner for Jokic to dish out to. You will only see how good his game is and can be when Jokic is not on the floor
or when he goes somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fact. All right, man. Let's get into the NBA playoff show. We got a little fire on that.
That was intense.
That was good. That was good. I can't wait to watch this
episode back. I know, right? I updated my pyramid, y'all. Y'all probably can't tell who I took off and who I added.
Hold on, give me a second.
Nah, you ain't gonna be able to tell. But tier 6, I added. Well, tell me who I added in tier 6.
KG.
Was West there before?
No, you're right. So I added Jerry West. Yep. And then on tier 7, I took somebody off, and it was Dwight Howard. But
yeah, I'm looking at tier 7. I can understand why you took Dwight off. I was about to say
only because I had to add West.
Yeah, like it's fair. It's fair.
Understandable.
Yeah. I had to add West, man, but I somehow forgot West when I first made it. And I know somebody probably gonna look at him and be like, "Where's Elgin Baylor?" And I was like, "I mean, that's how I got it, man." But I really wish Dwight was on that list. But I mean, maybe him or Weber is a conversation.
Maybe him and Weber. I mean,
yeah,
man, Chris was good though. Sewell was nasty.
He was.
Dang,
man.
Bill Russell up there. He on tier 4. Ghost of, I don't know how to say that last name.
Ghost of, nope, not even gonna try.
Some of them, most of them, I give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? That one, I know I'm gonna butcher that one.
I'm gonna definitely tear that one up.
What?
Put the playoffs on the damn screen, man. Put the playoffs on the screen.
All right, man.